Hello, everybody. Good morning. So glad you guys are here today. Hey, we have got two super fun cards. I've really been in just a big fun fold mood lately. And this one, it's a gatefold card, but it's what's inside that's kind of awesome. We just kind of have this really fun explosion going on the inside. I've got two cards to share with you. So whether you want to use designer series paper or you want to use some cardstock, and here I did some embossed and some designer series paper. I got options for you today. I am really excited to share these. Let's pop over and we're going to have Brenda and Christina join in on the live. So Brenda is over on YouTube. She'll be answering your comments over there and letting me know what you guys have to say. Christina, she's over on Facebook and she'll be answering questions there. I'm good. Real quick, I have to tell you what we did last night. Yesterday was Christina's birthday.
Happy birthday a day late, Christina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody wish her a happy birthday.
I mean, I told you happy birthday yesterday too, but
You did.
We had, what do we call it? Tacos and twisters.
oh, how fun.
Yeah, so we ordered from our favorite little taco place here in town, and we had tacos. And then we went to the theater to see the new movie Twisters. Now, you guys know I live in Oklahoma. We deal with tornadoes all the time. I mean, this is just, that's spring in Oklahoma. We're used to it. But this one was different. And I'm going to let Christina tell you about it. It was in 4D. And I told her, I said, I can't do 3D. It just starts to make me kind of feel a little off. I don't like it. And she goes, no, it's not in 3D. It's in 4D. So Christina, tell them what this was. It was crazy.
So 4D means it's like a fully immersive experience. So your chair moves with the movie. Sometimes it does it like if they're doing like a shot, like a weird turnaround shot, sometimes the chair moves you. But of course, when they're driving through tornadoes and bad weather, it's really jostling you. They also have fans going in there and a mist machine. So when they're outside in a tornado, you're getting mist and wind and all the movement. It was, I was a little worried it'd make me sick, but it didn't. It was so much fun.
And then they showed you like kind of a little trailer, if you will, to help you get used to this is what it's going to do.
Yeah.
I screamed numerous times because I had never done this. And I mean, there's they call them ticklers, but the back of your seat will push you and it's like, ah! And you know, we tilt and do these things and I'm like, ah! Ah! Ah!
It
I'm
was
glad they
so
did
much
that
fun.
because then it made the movie so much fun because like they're in the truck driving through a wheat field and you're like this, and if the truck moves this way, you move this way, and yeah, we get this little rain, but I got to tell you what I did. You had the option to turn the mister off, and it wasn't a lot of water. Okay, just kind of would hit your face a little bit. Well, Jenny wears glasses, so she turned hers off, but she was sitting next to me, and I just kind of went and hit the little button. The movie was almost over. I was going to see if she noticed. She never did. But then she was suddenly like doing this whenever they would be outside in the rain. And it wasn't until the movie was over she realized I'd turn her button on. It was fun.
Well, and it almost felt like a 5D movie because the movie theater we were in has survived an F5 tornado. And so there's a moment in the movie where they're like, quick, everyone run to the movie theater for shelter. They're like, I don't know if that's good enough. And we're like, this one is. We could write out a real tornado in this one. We've seen it happen.
And let me tell you, what she's talking about is so true because this is a huge tornado that hit Moore. And this movie theater, it took a beating, but it was still standing where everything else around it was down. So
yeah,
that was, I know, I don't mean to make it sound like that was comical, you guys. It was just kind of comical. In the movie, okay, in the movie, they've got all these people that are at this little outside festival and they're trying to get them to shelter. And so they take them into this old movie theater to give them shelter. So yeah, that's why.
Well, and I have to defend us real quick. I have one more piece and then we'll move on.
Okay.
If you see Twisters, just know every single time that the tornado wranglers are having to run up to people and say, no, you need to take shelter. And people seem confused. We're not like that. We know, we've been watching the news for hours. You're never going to catch us doing an outdoor arts festival when there's an F5 tornado coming right towards us. So please don't judge Okies based on character choices and twisters.
It's just a movie. We are smarter than that, but it was so much fun. As soon as the movie was over, we were just laughing. We just had so much. I know it's not a funny movie, don't get me wrong, but it was this whole experience. We were like, it was so fun. Yeah, we had a good time. So it was a good way to celebrate you, Christina.
Agreed.
Very good. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, I know many of you guys have heard me say this. So for anyone that's new, we do like to chat a little bit on our lives before we get started to give everyone a chance to get on and maybe get a beverage or something so that they can join in on the live. So I'll tell you what, we probably should go ahead and get started now that you've heard how good the movie Twisters was. Oops. So let's move over here. Oh, Brenda, we got you. How about
How about we get those cards up?
I'm trying. There we go. Woohoo. All right, we got it. Hey, if you were with me last week and we had all kinds of glitches, I got a new cord. Hopefully it was the right cord that we replaced because we were having issues. So anyway, hoping everything goes well. All right, I'll tell you what. I showed you the cards at the beginning. We're going to start with this one here. Stay strong, my friend. You'll get through this. Hope each passing day lets in a little more sunshine. Of course, I thought these bright colors were really good for that sentiment. It really is an easy card. I'm going to walk you through it. Now, you guys know I always have your free download, right? So you're going to have all your measurements and your photos. You can click back here. There is a possibility you might need to come back and watch the video again just to see a little bit of the folding, all right? But I also have with this one, I have a diagram so that you will know exactly where to score. And I promise you, it's pretty easy, but you know what? A diagram just always helps, right? A diagram always helps. All right, and then we have the supply list for the cards. Friends, this is one of those cards I want you to use what you have. But if you want to use any of the supplies that I used, you can click this image or you can follow this link and you can see everything there in one place and you can place your order. That's if you're in the United States. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So thank you. Thank you so much for your support of the channel and your ordering. All right, so I'm going to keep this handy because we got lots of measurements and I want to make sure I can see them. So we're going to kind of move along rather than like go through everything separately. So what's great about this card, it is just a half a sheet of cardstock. So I've got some pumpkin pie cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. I have that scored at 2 1/8 inch on each end. All right. That's going to make sure we get that perfect gatefold. Okay. We're going to go ahead and stamp on this. I want to make sure this is really good and burnished down. I'm going to use the Botanical Beauty stamp set. I love this one. It's a big background stamp. I love that one stamp will do it all, but I love the flowers, the leaves. It's a fabulous one. So I'm going to bring in my stamp and I'm going to use 2 ink pads on this card, Pumpkin Pie and Lemon Lime Twist. Let's start with our pumpkin pie, and that's going to be for this background. So ink this up. And, there's a lot of different ways you can use these background stamps. This is just one method. I mean, you can take this and press it down, but because that's a gatefold, sometimes it can be a little more challenging. So I'm actually going to turn it upside down and center it up and lay it there. Now, at this point, you can do a couple things. You can just give it a back rub. You can take a clear block. This is probably the less messy method, okay? But that means we're going to get really good pressure on there. So that's one of my favorites. Now I'm going to grab the corner and lift straight up. And there we go, okay? So we have our background stamped. We are going to use this one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and take a minute to clean it. and just get that off of there, because I'm going to use this stamp, and we're going to use just the corners of it, because it doesn't have to be a giant background. We can use it for other things too. So I'll show you that as we get to the inside. Okay. And I want to make sure my hands are clean because I'm about to use some white cardstock. All right, friends, here we go. I have a piece of basic white. And where are my measurements? There we go. I want to make sure I'm getting these right for you. This is what is it? Why is this not on here? I'm looking at the wrong card. I'm creating the other card. So Brenda and Christina, I have swapped these two. Oh, friends, it has been quite a couple weeks here in the Stewart household.
I figured that out, Connie. Connie, I figured that right out when I put the wrong stamp set up.
Yeah. Oh, just quick side note. My mom has been in and out of the hospital. It's just been crazy. So please forgive me for just being a little frazzled. All right. It happens. All right. This is an 8x4 piece of basic white. Yeah. I started looking over here going, where's my measurement? I can't find it. Starting with the wrong card. Would it be okay if I just switched? Would it be okay if I switched? I think I'm going to switch. Are you guys cool with that?
No, just go with what you're already doing. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Because I pre-did some things on this one. So, okay. So I'm going to grab a ruler, because remember, we had that diagram, and I'm going to show you. This is so easy. Okay. I don't want this to intimidate you at all. But what I'm going to do, I have this scored. I put the 8 inches at the top, and I scored it 2, 4, and 6 inches. That's easy, right? But we need to make these X's, the green line. And friends, I'm telling you, it really is simple to do. I'm going to take my take your pick tool and use the stylus. If you don't have that, you can use, I've lost my bone folder. There it is. You can also use your bone folder to crease this. Now, here's what's challenging. It's kind of hard to see on this white cardstock, and I have bright lights, so hang tight with me here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go, let me show you here on the diagram. We're going to go from corner to that inside score line, and same here. We're going to do that on both sides, okay? And like I said, I know it's got to be as hard for you to see it as it is for me with these lights, but you're just going to score, and then I'm going to rotate it around, and I'm going to find that corner. There we go. Find this corner and give that a score. We'll do the same thing over here on the other side. And you know what? I've already done it. So we're going to just go with it. But you can see X marks the spots. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and fold the 2 score lines on the outside. You don't need to score this one in the middle, or I'm sorry, forgive me, crease it. It was just there as a visual. Okay. So we really only need to crease these. All right. Now I'm ready to fold on the score line. Now I'm going to tell you something. You can just kind of line it up as long as you get a point there. If you're confident with that, you don't even have to do the ruler thing. So you could just really gently, with designer series paper, let me tell you, it's really easy to do that. But we just want to have this nice point here. Okay. So I hope that you guys can see that's kind of what we get. So that's the beginning of our explosion. So all right, let's do it one more time. By the way, if you didn't get your score lines perfect, this is a great time that you can kind of straighten it up. And a lot of this will kind of be hidden. We're going to add all kinds of fun, pretty paper inside there. But there we go. Okay. So let me set this off to the side, and we're going to come in. I've got 2 pieces of designer series paper in 2 different colors. And let me see. These are 2.5. Why do I have 2.5 by 4? Guys, that is incorrect. That would be 2.5 by 2.5. I'm not sure why I have that measurement on there. So forgive me. I told you it's a frazzly week here. Yay. All right. Designer series paper is so easy to cut two at the same time. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to make it into a diamond shape. And I'm going to put the points there inside the track. And you're going to cut. So you see we have those two diamonds. I'm going to flip this around, line these up. And I'm going to put, I use one of these straight lines here. See that one? To kind of help me make sure I'm straight. But then I'm going to line it up. The point there in the track again. Hold on tight. All right. So now we have these 4 triangles. Okay. Let's do it again here. And just lining it up on a straight line to make sure I'm not going crooked, and cut. All right. While I've got my paper trimmer out, you're going to have 2 pieces of Melon Mambo. These, what one is this? This is a 2.5 by 2.5. You're going to have 2 of them. And let me show you what I did. I cut it in half, okay, the exact same way. And then I think you can see I did a little embossing, all right, dry embossing with the eyelet embossing folder, just to kind of, you know, dress it up a little bit. So I do prefer to cut it before I emboss it, just because sometimes you can get a little rough edge when you cut through embossed cardstock. So I have done that as well. All right, I'm going to move this, and we're going to put our card together. By the way, I do have a second piece that is also a 2.5 by 2.5. All right. And I'm actually going to adhere this one first. See the big diamond shape there in the middle? We're going to add this right here. Remember, there's a score line going through there, so that'll even help you get that lined up straight. We're going to take our 2 embossed pieces. By the way, you can use your any of your favorite adhesive on this. So if you prefer your multi-purpose glue, feel free to do that. And I will tell you, on these triangles, you're going to kind of center it up here. And when we go to do our designer series paper, though, it's actually going to be a little bit different. Kind of discovered this as I was putting this card together. So this one, we want that little border on the end, all right? So that's what we have so far. Let's come in and work on some of our little triangles here. All right, I'm going to use the floral side of this. By the way, this is from the, let's see, this is the Brights Designer Series paper. All right, so first triangle, doesn't matter which one goes where necessarily, but I want you to line up the long edge with that fold. Okay, see how I can just kind of fold that up? And that's going to help me get that on there straight. The reason I'm doing that, because if I didn't do that, how do I say this? The border around it wasn't equal. So if you'll just use the edge and line that up, see how it kind of keeps everything even? So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. Guys, are there any questions or comments coming in? Because I got some adhering to do. Ooh, I didn't do that one right. Let me try that again. Ooh, need it to come down. Well, not quite getting it. There we go.
I don't have any questions, but we do have Laura joining us from Salem, Massachusetts, which I would love to visit.
We do. Do you want to tell them why?
Yeah, we have a family history with Salem. Your 8 times great-grandmother, my 9 times great-grandmother was Rebecca Nurse. She was one of the accused witches. So her house is still standing just outside of Salem and has been turned into like a historic marker. I'd love to go visit that. So
I know. It really is. She's well known in history books, and Yeah, it was kind of cool to discover that.
I say we plan a trip.
Okay.
Okay. Our next live will be coming to you right from Salem.
Yeah.
In our witch hats.
Yes, always.
And Christina will sing Defying Gravity for us.
Exactly.
Okay, so guys, I apologize. This kind of takes a while, doesn't it? Really,
though, it's good for us to see the process because
there's no right or wrong. I mean, I got him going this way. You could it's whatever pattern you want, but you've got the 4 equal, triangles, so you're good to go. All right, last one there. All right, so now I think you can see that's why I had you line it up right on the score line. Of course, that makes it really easy on white cardstock that you can just give that a bend right here to make that kind of go together. All right, see these pieces? Watch this. There is our explosion, okay? So you just, if you want to hold it this way, these pieces go in and these pieces go in. All right, that's all we need. Okay, we're actually going to go ahead and get the card started and then we'll do the stamping, okay? So I've got a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going on the inside for 2 reasons. One, it kind of brightens up the inside of the card. But, and I got to tell you, this is the kind of card, let me show you. About all you can really do is sign your name. Okay, there's not a ton of room for a message. You could always add another piece of white cardstock here on the back and write your message on the back if you want. But let me show you how to put this card together. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put adhesive on 1 triangle, just 1. And make sure you're going all the way around because, gravity is going to work against us here. Here's my card. I'm going to rotate it. You can decide where you want this to go. I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher here in my card so that I have a little more room to write my message. And I'm just lining it up right there on the edge of my gatefold. Okay, see that? First one down. Okay. We're going to open this up. Now we're going to do the square, the big square. And this is going to adhere to the inside of the card. I love to simplify things. And I have seen this card made difficult. And then once I have a chance to make it, I like to try to find the easy methods. All right, so we have that one down. Now, and I will recommend, don't put all the adhesive on at once. Makes it a little more difficult to work with. And watch this. We're going to close. That is going to ensure that when it's closed, you're not going to see anything. Okay? All right, let's do, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and add the front of my card. And this is a piece of Melon Mambo that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I embossed a piece of basic white 2 1/2 by 4. And before I adhered it down, though, I added a little bit of the black and white large check ribbon. And friends, this is only going to go on this side of our card, just here on the left side. So I'm just going to add adhesive. I want that bow and that ribbon down at the bottom. Center it up, top to bottom, side to side. All right. Now let's do some stamping. All right. So for this card, because my Botanical Beauty doesn't have a sentiment, I had to bring in a sentiment. So I used Delicate Forest. Beautiful stamp set, but for me it was these great sentiments, all right? So we're going to make this kind of a thinking of you, I'm here for you kind of card. I got a piece of Lemon Lime Twist that is 3/4 by 3, and I'm going to use my Memento Black ink pad. Stay strong, my friend. You'll get through this. We're going to stamp that there. Now I've got somewhere, you guys know me in my messy desk. Where did it go? I'm telling you, friends, This is me all the time now. This is my life. You know what the problem is? It's actually a white desk and a white piece of cardstock that has disappeared. Why is it always when I'm live, things disappear? It always happens. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you. Here is what the inside, because you know, as soon as I turn this live off, it'll show up. So this is a piece of basic white, and this will be a 2.5 by 2.5. Is that right? 2.5. I want to make sure that's right. Yes, because my Melon Mamba was 2 3/4. So 2.5 by 2.5. I stamped my sentiment. And guys, this is what I was talking about. In Lemon Lime Twist, let me show you. I just inked up the edge. Okay, I just inked up the edge and stamped all around on that. I apologize, guys. I don't know what happened to my little piece of white cardstock, but I just added my sentiment there across the top. And you see we've got all the great color going on there with that. You know what? I think mine's even a little bit darker. I must have used a lighter color on this one, but I think I like this one better. So,
Connie.
Yeah.
Linda says she's pretty sure that her desk is the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, well, I so get that, especially right now. Yeah, it happens all the time. So what you're seeing here, this is my fake desk. Everything there, the secret's out. This is just because the lights reflect off that white, but my desk is actually a white desk, so it's really difficult to see. All right, guys, that is the card. Hey, this gives me the ability I can go in and add a sentiment later if I wish. So there's always a bright side. Okay, we've got just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and show the other card. So I'm going to get through this one really, really quick. And if you guys remember, this is the one I meant to start with. And we are probably going to go just a little bit long today, so my apologies, but I know you guys are fine with that. We're going to use Flowers of Beauty and Say Hey. Say hey. Woo, woo. I know, I'm so old. Okay, for this card, we're going to use Petunia Pop and Fresh Freesia. And I'm actually going to use Fresh Freesia on the front of this card. And I'm going to take the flower from Flowers of Beauty. I wanted this to be a little bit lighter than Petunia Pop because Petunia Pop on Petunia Pop is a little dark, okay? So sometimes I do that. I like to go with a lighter color. Really, on that other card, it looks like I used maybe Versamark or something. And I guess when I put it together, I just wasn't paying attention. All right, we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and add my white cardstock here to the inside. That's that 4 by 5 1/4. We'll add that. Let's go ahead and move on. This is a designer series paper on this one. And so let me do my quick scoring here. And I'm going to flip it over. It's just a little bit easier for you to see than on that other side. 2, 4, and 6. And you remember on the last card, I showed you how to do it with the ruler. Well, now I'm going to show you how to do it without the ruler. I'm going to, okay, I see the line. I'm just going to fold. And like I said, I just have to kind of make sure that see what I'm doing there? Just make sure you're kind of getting it all good and straight. Just like that. So, yeah, I know sometimes the ruler method, I don't mind doing it, but I know sometimes when you're in a hurry and you need the card yesterday, that kind of helps you. So remember, we've got that fold line right there. Okay, let's do this again. Yeah, it really is. The designer series paper is super easy to fold without bringing in the ruler. Look at that. You can even go fast like me. Okay. But when I do that, that's when I make mistakes. Hey, speaking of creating with me, this is the last, kind of the last couple days for you to sign up for the Creativate retreat. And if you guys have been to this retreat, you know what an awesome event it is. This is a weekend of stamping set aside just for you. By the way, you guys see what I'm doing there? Just bringing in those ends like I did before. There's my explosion. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Even if you have plans this weekend, it's all good because we have pre-recorded videos. We will do lives, whatever you prefer. You are welcome to join in. It is fun to be a part of it live. And like I said, just to have a weekend of stamping that is set aside for you. Tell your husband to get the kids, get out of the house and give you a weekend to stamp. You deserve it, everybody. You deserve it. Okay, whoops. Let's adhere down our square. Yeah, I can't always talk and stamp. So when I create, I typically create in silence. Okay. I just can't have music or the TV on. I just can't do it. I gotta have quiet. And I don't know about you, but when I create, I have meetings with myself. I have to talk myself through it many times. All right, guys, that is, I'm not going to do all those little triangles inside because my paper's so pretty. I've got a piece of petunia pop that's going to go right here in the center just to kind of help break that up. There we go. Let's do some stamping, and we're going to stamp now with petunia pop, and I'm going to bring in that flower. By the way, remember last time I stamped it in fresh freesia, and now I'm stamping it in petunia pop. I want it to be darker. We're going to say, hey, right here in the center of this piece of basic white. Now bringing in my fresh freesia one more time. We've got, this is a two-step stamp, my favorite kind of stamping. And I'm going to stamp that in the center. Oh, and let me go ahead in petunia pop. Sorry, I forgot to add my happy birthday sentiment. And this is beyond easy to put together. Adding that to the inside. And I've got, this is the same measurement. So that's a 2 3/4. The white is a 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. This other piece of designer series paper, I need to cut this ribbon in half. Grab scissors. This is about 8 inches of ribbon, so I'm just going to cut it in half. So I put some adhesive here on the back. It's just going to kind of dress it up. And make sure I get it straight. There we go. When I add this to the basic white, I'm going to go right over that ribbon with my adhesive just to keep it from moving around. We'll add that to our basic white. This card in particular goes really fast. I'm going to take that other 4 inches of ribbon and just tie that here in a knot on the front. Trim that down. And it's going to be added to the card just like we did before. All right, so let me show you what it looks like done. I just adhered my hay at an angle, you know, just a little bit different than I did before. And there is my other pop-up. So let me bring the first one in one more time. And there we go. Explosion cards. So easy. Guys, use designer series paper. You could stamp. You could have stamped all over this basic white and then did your scoring and have a design that way. Get creative. Use some of those fabulous pieces of designer series paper that you're just itching to use in a card. This one is a winner for sure. Hey, I always have your free download. That diagram, it's always there for you. Remember, you can find it at simplysimplestamping.com. Look for today's post, July 25th, 2024. That's where you're going to find that. And I want you to have it so when you go to recreate the cards, you don't have to come back and watch the video. You're going to have everything. But you can always click or scan the QR code to come back and watch it. All right? Okay. Friends, that is all for me. The Creativate Retreat starts tomorrow night. I'd love to have you join me. If you go over to simplysimplestamping.com, you're going to see a little menu that says Creativate News. That's where you're going to find the information on that. trust me when I tell you, it is a great time. 8 YouTube live videos where we come on at the top of every hour. You're going to have written tutorials for everything. All right. 8 amazing projects. These are not projects I've done on my website before, so they're brand new. We've got cards, we've got boxes, we've got techniques. Whether you are a new stamper or you've been stamping for years, trust me, there is stuff here for you. Oh, I got to tell you the best part, you don't have to have anything special. We are all about teaching you to use what you already have. Now, isn't that awesome, right? You are going to use the stamps, the inks, the paper that you already have. You didn't have to go out and buy stuff. You didn't have to have a certain suite or a bundle. No, you're going to use what you have. That is what we're here to teach you. So I would love to have you join. Remember, just go over to simplysimplestamping.com, look for Creative 8 News, and you'll find that information there. Brenda, Christina, thank you guys so much for being here. Real quick, thank you all so much for the prayers, the love, the support you give me regarding my mom. I love you guys. Thank you. I know she truly appreciates it. And we just keep praying every day that she starts to get better and stronger. And I love her to the moon and back. So thank you guys for being here. Hope to see you and stamp with you this weekend. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.